morning. I thank you for joining us this morning. The CSUN Jazz A Band and Miss Dara Wedler, under the direction of Professor Matt Harris, will now perform the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As Dean of the College of Humanities, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the distinguished members of the Platform Party. President Jolene Kester, Dr. Harry Hellenbrand, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Our commencement speaker, Mr. Richard Cheech Marin. Vice President Terry Piper, Vice President Randy Harris, Vice President Tom McCarran, Vice President Hillary Baker, Associate Vice President Mac Johnson, Dr. Barbara Gross, Chief of Staff, Dr. Susan Curzon, Dean of the Library, Professor Williams Leone, Associate Dean, Professor Gina Mazakesme, Interim Chair of Asian American Studies, Professor David Rodriguez, Chair of Chicana and Chicano Studies, Professor George Uba, Chair of English, Professor Sandra Stanley, Interim Coordinator of the Humanities Interdisciplinary Program, Professor Elizabeth Adams, Director of the Liberal Studies Program, Professor Sabrina Peck, Coordinator of the Linguistics Program, Professor Brian Castronovo, Chair of Modern and Classical Languages and Literatures, Professor Jody Myers, Coordinator of the Modern Jewish Studies Program, Professor Gregory Velasco Itrainoski, Chair of Philosophy, Professor Phyllis Herman, Chair of Religious Studies, Professor Marta Lopez Garza, Faculty Member and former Chair of Women's Studies, Dr. Jennifer Matos, President of the Faculty, and Dr. Robert Noreen, our distinguished mace bearer from the Department of English. And I want to ask you all to be seated. On behalf of the university, I would like to welcome the graduates, their families and friends, faculty and staff, and our distinguished guests to the 49th Annual Commencement Ceremony at California State University, Northridge. We believe that this event will serve to provide lasting and special memories for both our graduates and their families. The departments and programs of the College of Humanities play a vital role in the education not only of our majors, but of all the students in the university. The mission of the College of Humanities is to create a community of learners who explore and value the diversities of cultures, thought, perspectives, literatures, and languages of humanity, critically reflect on and analyze multiple dimensions of human identity and experience, contribute to the scholarship and creative production and innovation, and act as responsible global citizens committed to principles of freedom, equality, justice, and participatory democracy. We are honored today by the presence of Los Angeles Councilman Richard Alarcón. Councilman Alarcón, will you please join me on the platform and greet the 2007 graduating class from the College of Humanities.
Good morning. Are you ready? Dean Say, President Kester, our special commencement speaker, Cheech Marin. Pretty cool, huh? I never knew his name was Richard. Órale, tocayo. As a former graduate of Cal State Northridge, it gives me great pleasure to come each time to see the next generation. Not just the next generation of graduates, but the next generation of our society. We hand over to you the future. You have been prepared for individual prosperity and success, but we also hope that you accept the responsibility to improve our society. Particularly the School of Humanities should embrace that challenge. When Cheech and I went to Cal State Northridge, it was a time of great upheaval in our society. We were fighting a war that the majority of people didn't want to fight. We believed that we could create a society of peace and love. And today, we need that more than ever. So as you celebrate this tremendous accomplishment, please, first of all, appreciate what your parents have done for you. Even though at times it might have seemed like a challenge, they truly are proud of you today. But I also ask that you embrace this challenge to create the greater society, to provide more humanity where there is none, to improve the conditions of our society by eliminating poverty, by improving our society in all respects, and creating truly peace and love. Good luck, congratulations, go Matadors.
Thank you, Councilman Alarcón. At this time, I would like to ask President Kester to step forward and speak to the graduating class of 2007.
Good morning and congratulations, class of 2007, College of Humanities, California State University, Northridge. You didn't disappoint me. Now, who is this class? Who are all of these people sitting in front of me in your black robes and your hats? There are some of you who were freshmen at California State University, Northridge. And there are some of you who transferred here from community colleges or other universities. There are some of you who are graduating with graduate degrees. Small little number over there, small voices, huh? There are some of you who have completed this degree in 4 years. And there are some of you who have taken a decade or more to complete this degree. And I'll bet there's large numbers of you who have worked at least 20 hours a week while you've been a student here at Cal State Northridge. And I'll bet many of you have children. I'll bet some of you were immigrants to this country. And I'll bet for some of you, English is not your first language. How about, are there any of you for which you are the first person in your family to graduate from college? And I'll bet many of you have been involved in community service learning courses here at Cal State Northridge. And some of you have been leaders in associated students or other student organizations. And all of you are going to graduate from California State University Northridge with an excellent education in the discipline of your choice. And all of you, it is my hope, will be proud forever of your experience, your degree, and what it is you have learned from this great university. Congratulations and our best wishes to each of you.
Thank you, Dr. Kester. It is a special pleasure for me to introduce today's commencement speaker. Mr. Richard Marin is a CSUN alumnus from the Department of English. He was born in South Central Los Angeles and raised in Granada Hills, California. He is best known as one half of the hilariously irreverent, satirical, counterculture, no-holds-barred duo Cheech and Chong. Cheech Marin is a paradox in the world of entertainment. Cheech is an actor, director, writer, musician, art collector, and humanitarian, a man who has enough talent, humor, and intelligence to do just about anything. In the past few years, Cheech has kept himself busy with numerous film roles, including Underclassmen, Christmas with the Cranks, Tin Cup, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and his upcoming movie about the 1957 Little League World Series entitled The Third Miracle. He has numerous television roles to his credit, and if that was not enough, Cheech directed the Broadway production of Latino Logs, a collection of comedic and poignant monologues revealing the Latino experience in America. Cheech has become a favorite with children the world over through his many roles in animated movies and music projects. This includes providing the voice of Bonsai, one of the deadly hyenas in The Lion King, as well as the streetwise Chihuahua in Disney's Oliver and Company. He has managed to maintain this popularity with children via his role in the Spy Kids trilogy and his phenomenally successful bilingual children's albums, My Name is Cheech, the School Bus Driver, and My Name is Cheech, the School Bus Driver, Coast to Coast. When Hollywood is not monopolizing his time, Cheech is busy promoting his vision of Chicano art and expression, brought to life in an unprecedented museum exhibition that features Cheech's own personal Chicano art collection, one of the largest in the world, which forms the core of Chicano Vision's American Painters on the Verge. In his free time, Cheech devotes a great deal of time to such organizations as El Rescate and the Inner City Arts Council. He was the recipient of the 2000 Creative Achievement Award from the Imagine Foundation. In addition, he received the 1999 Council of La Raza Craft Foods Alma Community Service Award, and most importantly, the 2004 CSUN Distinguished Alumni Award. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the great privilege of presenting to you Mr. Richard Cheech Marin.
Thank you. I would like to begin today's commencement address by quoting from a song of my people that befits this time and place. Mexican Americans don't like to get up early in the morning, but they have to, so they do it real slow. Thank you, my people. Man, after all these years of hard work, couldn't they go like 11:30, 12, you know? But no, here we are in the morning. I want to congratulate all those who put in 4 to 14 years of hard work, who sacrificed, who took extra jobs, and made sure that their kids went to school. I'm talking about the parents now. I have 2 kids in college right now, and I feel for you. I know your plight. I want to congratulate you all, you graduates, for putting in all those hours. Today we look on humanities, or there's this general impression that humanities are not relevant in today's technical world. It's a digital age, and what good does philosophy or English or language or literature do? It is the basis of who we are and what we are going to leave behind when we go. The only thing we leave behind as a culture is our art and our philosophy. You don't go to a museum to see great business deals of the past. You go and see the pyramids, whether in Egypt or in Mexico. Humanities lies at the base of all that, because what we are trying to figure out, after all, is why we are here and what does it all mean. A survey shows that the average college student will change his major at least 3 times during his course of study here, or more. Another survey shows that 60 to 75% of all those graduates will not have work, their life's work, in the field that they have chosen to study. So what does that mean? It means that as a humanitarian, and people who study humanities, you're being prepared for everything. And I'll give you an example of how that works. I went to Northridge. It was called Valley State right then, and it wasn't a part of the UC Cal or UC State University system. I don't think it was even created then. I think we still had to milk cows over in the pasture over there. And I started as a political science major because that's what my father wanted me to do. He wanted me to be a lawyer, and I took 1 semester of that, and well, this is BS. And I'm not going to do that. And so I changed it to education, and I've had an education. And I finally changed it to something I really liked, English. Well, it was English as a second language, but English nonetheless. But what it led me to was to seek the inner artist in myself, and my very last semester, I discovered pottery right over there in that lab right over there, and I was thank you for the snare. Following my heart and following my lead and following the education that was given me here in Northridge, I kept seeking something that I was supposed to do, something that I was made for, something that my heart was in. And I guess it was pottery, because I've discovered the inner artist. I always knew I was an artist, but I couldn't draw, I couldn't sculpt. And finally, my Mexican genes kicked in. And pottery, and I gave up my life for it. I got a $900 NEDA loan. And I made pottery all day. I was in that lab all day, except for when the Vietnam War came along. And I was just looking at the campus when we walked up here. On this very spot, there was a stage set up right there. Northridge had brought in a series of very, very provocative speakers, Floyd McKissick, Reyes Tiarina, Cesar Chavez, and David Harris, who came and talked to us about draft resistance. And I decided to become a draft resistor, and I came out of the pottery lab covered in mud and walked up on the stage and handed them my draft card right there. And that led to me leaving Northridge, going to Canada, meeting Chong, being Cheech and Chong, and now I'm here. So what does that say about a humanitarian liberal arts education? It means that's prepared me for anything that I might encounter in life, because you're on the precipice of immense changes. In my lifetime, I've seen huge changes. When I was a kid, there wasn't TV. I'll let that sink in for a minute. You know, I tell my son, I have a 22-year-old son, Joe, who actually went here for a couple years, and I said, you know, when I was a kid, we didn't have TV. And he goes, I know, you were too poor, you couldn't afford it. No, it wasn't invented, dude. And he looked at me like, how can there be no TV? It's like saying there was no air. And he looked at me and said, God, what was fire like the first time you saw it? Shut up. You know, now, from having no TV to I have shoes with TV. I saw that in a catalog the other day. There was just shoes with TV on it, on the toes. You could walk down the street. I wonder what's on the toe channel, you know. But we are now embarked in a great change. The internet is changing everything, and there's going to be climactic changes all across the world in the next 5 to 7 years. Really big changes. One of which, saluting the Chicano Studies parties, is immigration that's in this country right now. Thank you, fellow immigrants. There is, they approximate that there is 10 to 12 to 14 million illegal immigrants in the country right now. They're not going anywhere. They're going to stay here. And the fact that they don't kind of bring out is that 85% of those immigrants are under 25. And that's going to be the next generation, because as all under 25s do, they're going to breed, and Mexicans are going to breed especially. So we are going to experience a giant cultural change. And the thing that makes it more important is that it's all over the country now, every single state. When we come to the point where salsa is the #1 condiment over ketchup, which we are at right now, then the change has already occurred. We are just getting used to that change. So you're standing on the edge of a huge Grand Canyon of change, and more than any other generation since I was here at college, you guys are going to be the motor of it. You're going to be able to influence your world more than the last 3 generations. You have the tools in your hand. You have been given a wonderful education here at CSUN. So I charge you now to fly, little birds. Fly, get a job. Fly up in the sky with your new CSUN educated wings. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Marin. Dr. Harry Hellenbrand, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, will now recognize and present the candidates for master's degrees.
Will all the candidates for the master's degree please rise? President Kester, I have the honor of presenting the candidates for the Master of Arts degree. These candidates have completed the requirements for the master's degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University. And they have been recommended by the faculty of California State University, Northridge.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of California State University, Northridge, and by the authority vested in me by the trustees of the California State University system, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts with all of the rights, all of the honors, and most especially all of the responsibilities associated with that degree. Congratulations to each and every one of you. The marshals will now direct you to the stage to receive a commemorative certificate for your participation today. Come forward.
Angelica Gonzalez. Michael Blanco. Scott Wagand. Nicole Elaine Snell. Cowning McLevo. Susan Higgins. Valentina Victoria Terabili. Lance David Langdon. Cynthia Michelle Cohen. Sarah White. Talon Linuate. Arthur Maturo. Tomohiro Okada. Barbara K. Liu. Deborah Williams. Raul Herrera. Karina Zaragoza. Renee Rock. Lindsay Surrendernaut. Heidi Nestor. Shane Underwood. Renee Flishman. Tracy Ruby. Rita Herman. Annalisa Maria Reedman. Dustin Laren. Amber Norwood. Brian Diamond. Michael Schofield. Ryan Skinnell. Kaylin Koning. Kathleen Martin Rowe. Kimberly Wells Vaca. Sarah Sinclair Sharp. Catherine Sinelli. Maria Teresa Papa. Vilma Palacios. Michael Van Sluten. David Nadler. Rachel E. Garfield. Rose Navarez.
Professor Jennifer Matos, President of the Faculty Senate, will now announce this year's Faculty Award recipients from the College of Humanities.
As president of the faculty, I'm pleased to announce the 2007 Honored Faculty Award recipients from the College of Humanities. This year's Extraordinary Service Award is presented to Glenn Omatsu, a lecturer in the EOP Bridge Program and Asian American Studies Department. Professor Omatsu's motto of shared leadership is exemplified in his work at Cal State Northridge, where he uses brain research, learning theory, and his personal experiences with community-based education to implement learning strategies for the EOP Summer Bridge Program. He incorporates the concept of mentoring on the run in all of his student interactions. Professor Omatsu works on active pedagogy, connects the needs of community to the power and use of education. This connection of education with social justice also informed his work with the Department of Asian American Studies. As a writer and scholar, his work is often cited by other scholars. Professor Omatsu's outstanding record of service and scholarship spans a breadth of areas which all center on the quality of education for students. His various approaches to his professional and personal goals bring diversity and understanding to the university and promote the highest of ideals. The next recipient is the recipient of the Preeminent Scholarly Publication Award. It was given to Emeritus Professor of English, Anthony Arthur. This award is presented for his work, Radical